Okay, so as requested by a certain buddy pal of mine, I'm going to vlog reading Parable of the Talents. And I was just at the library yesterday. How many times is too many times in a week to go to the library? I'm there quite often. So I was just at the library yesterday to pick up some holds. So next time I go, I will grab the physical copy of Parable of the Talents. But for now, because I can't wait, I am listening to the audiobook. So I am like 2 minutes into the audiobook, and already I love when in a duology a book picks up right where the other one left off. And that is not the case here. And I didn't realize that there would have been like 5 years in between the books. Oh my gosh. Imagine reading Parable of the Sower when it was like a new book, and then having to wait 5 years with that ending. I guess if you just like consider an ambiguous ending and like that was all you knew you were getting, you would be satisfied with it. You know, something like Handmaid's Tale, when that was, you know, intended to be the ending, not like a 20-year later sequel. That was but yeah, so I guess if you were expecting that to have just been a standalone book, the ambiguous ending would probably leave you still wanting more, but like you'd be satisfied in being able to kind of draw your own conclusions and use your own imagination. So I do like when that happens. But I guess reading it now, knowing that there was a follow-up, I couldn't wait. Because it ends with Benkole telling Lauren that like we haven't even hit rock bottom yet, and like here we can build something here. And so it's them, just the group, deciding that that's what they're gonna do. Well, it opens with Lauren's daughter talking about what a terrible mother she was, which I believe that tracks. So this is the daughter telling the story of Earthseed with what sounds like is going to be a bit of resentment. And so, I don't know, I don't love time jumps and character swaps. So, I hope Octavia can pull this off for me. I mean, I'm in. We're doing this. It's not enough to scare me off. So, yeah, I'm literally like 3 minutes. Not even. I listened to like the introduction, and then just the daughter started talking. And I'm just like, what? No. Okay. I've got a few minutes before I have to go in and pay for Oliver's baseball clinic. So I'm in the car now. I'm gonna listen. Okay, this book has the Donald Trump like character. Just got the just got the line. I can't even say it. Did you see me fumble? Make America Great Again. Just got back from the science center. Going up there, the kids each had their own iPods on with their headphones, so I was able to listen to my audiobook on the drive up. It's about half an hour ride. So I don't think I mentioned in a vlog for Parable of the Sower, but the format of the book is that we're reading Lauren's journals. It's broken into chapters, but within each chapter are dated entries, and she's relaying the events as they occurred. So the format of this one is similar, but we have 3 journals. Lauren's, Bankole, and I don't remember if she got named. I'm sure she named herself, like gave her name, but Lauren's daughter, as like, you know, years later reflecting on the kind of person her mother was, the kind of person her father was, the kind of place Acorn was, which is the community they've built up in the earth seed tradition. So we got those 3 journal POVs. What I'm appreciating about this book is the self-awareness, where like in reading Parable of the Sower, I was like, oh, she lost me. It sounds like a cult. Gross. Did they, you know, yes, some characters are saying like, oh, here you go again. Like, is this a cult? What are you doing? And so now in Parable of the Talents, Lauren straight up acknowledges that like we're those weird people up in the hills who have like a goddess change cult, and you know, I wish I could make them see we're not crazy, we're not doing bad things, like we're just doing our thing and surviving and, you know, making the best of the situation. So things have calmed down, violent crime wise, from where they were in the first book, but shit's still not great. And now is where we get that, like I said this morning when I got to it, now is where we're getting, oh, the politics in this book, written 20 years ago? Math? Is that the right numbers? Written 20-ish years ago is what we just went through. What we've gone through, are going through. Like, yeah, the president changed, but people are still crazy and divided politically. Real world, now, like us, US today. It's fun times. Yeah. So now as I'm reading, I'm getting more worked up because it hits closer to home. So this book definitely has a different vibe than the first one, but it's still just as like mindfucky. Yeah. So enjoying it, but not as much. I don't know. The other one, not that the other one was in like an adventure book, but there was a lot more urgency and like physical danger and like not really action scenes, and it wasn't really fast paced. I don't know. It was just a different tone, where this one is more like, all right, step back, calm down, deep breath, here's what we're dealing with. So yeah, I'm going to probably put it on now, do some dishes, never-ending dishes, make dinner again. I gotta feed these people every day. And then Owen has basketball practice. check in later. Happy birthday, kiddo.
That's what white pepper is?
I thought it was a choo-choo train.
Chewy, if you don't like balloons, you better get off the bed. He's trying to bail.
Ow. That's good. Chewy, you didn't even have to pull it anymore. He likes pulling empty wrappers. Here, Daisy.
First gift,
Monday's the open it.
Sour Patch. Oh, no, Daisy! No! You can't be present thief. You could be a present assistant.
Good girl.
Chewy? Wrong one. Chewy wants some. He wants some.
Birthday, dear Oliver. Happy birthday to you.
I'll get you. Really? You were...
Hi. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of February. So it's been a little while. This weekend was very busy. All weekends are very busy. I don't know why I always look forward to like a Friday night and think like, yay, weekend, I'm gonna do all the reading. I don't read much on weekends. Like, I need to rework, like, I'm a mom with kids who have shit to do, so like weekends I don't read much. Plus we had family visiting, Oliver's birthday, you know, so it's been a little while. I have made some progress in Parable of Talents. There's crazy glare because it has the library covering on it. Here's what happened. Before I got the library book and I had started on audio, I did want to have a physical book, you know, bedtime or quiet time, whatever. I started The Bean Trees by Barbara Kingsolver. Fell in love from like the first line, right? I immediately, let me read it to you. All right, chapter 1. I have been afraid of putting air in a tire ever since I saw a tractor tire blow up and throw Newt Hardbine's father over the top of the Standard Oil sign. I'm not lying. He got stuck up there. About 19 people congregated during the time it took for Norman Strick to walk up to the courthouse and blow the whistle for the volunteer fire department. They eventually did come with the ladder and haul him down, and he wasn't dead, but lost his hearing, and in many other ways he was never the same afterwards. They said he overfilled the tire. I don't know. I just loved how it jumped right in, and already you get that sense of like small town. Caught me immediately. By page 3, hooked. Loved it. So this is my physical book. This was my audiobook. So when I actually did on Friday, I think, grab the physical book of this to read, my plan was to switch and then listen to this on audiobook. So while I did kind of listen while I ran around to do practice pickups or whatever, you know, pick the kids up, or hop into a store, I did listen to some. But then Monday, when I was able to have some reading time, I could not put this down. Could not put this down. I finished it on Monday. Monday evening was back at the library and picked up Pigs in Heaven, which is the sequel to The Bean Trees. Again, Pigs in Heaven I have on audiobook. It's actually how I started it. But that's all I want to read. I am enjoying this one. But not as much, well, not as much as I enjoyed this one and want to continue this one. This one I feel like is going to be more difficult to read. Just plot-wise. There's going to be a custody battle, I believe. That's going to be hard. So, why am I dragging my feet on Parable of the Talents? Probably because it's making me really uncomfortable. This is very much religion heavy. Like 10 times more than Parable of the Sower. Believe it or not. In this book, I don't like Lauren at all. At all. And I think that's the point, because Lauren's daughter is like interjecting between chapters, and she has a lot of bad things to say about her mother, so I feel like that's the point. So overall, I'm enjoying the book, obviously, or I wouldn't bother reading it. But it's not driven in such a way that the first one was, where like you're invested in their survival. So enjoying it. Will finish it, but definitely going to take a while, because I'm enjoying something else more. I made it to the halfway point, Parable of the Talents. And there was a moment there that I thought, maybe I'm done. Hear the bird? He's the worst. But yeah, I had a fleeting consideration of DNFing the book. Just because, like, I feel like the moment has passed. Like, Earthseed is so 2 weeks ago. Right? But I listened to a little bit more while Oliver was in his baseball practice. I put on the audio, sat in the car, played some Angry Birds. I'll keep going. Just like in the first book, you hit like 50% and like a thing happens, and it's pretty much the same thing. And it feels like a new book. It feels like a whole new story, a whole new focus, a new tone. But it also makes me question the style that it's written in, with it being journals, like, and dated. And some of them are written like in retrospect, like, this has happened, I'm going back and telling you what happened, and a lot of them are like, I am writing this right now. In which case it doesn't work for me. That kind of annoys me. Because if you're going to write with full dialogue, who journals like that? And if you're in a very dire situation where like you're writing things quick, who puts so much detail? Who writes pages and pages and pages when like you're trying to sneaky journal? So that doesn't work for me. But the journaling itself is it's such like involved storytelling that I kind of forget that it's not just run-of-the-mill third person or a first person narration. That it is a journal. Like, you can forget, but then when you think about it too much, like the format. So I'm not going to check in anymore until it is finished. So next time you see me, I will be giving you my final thoughts. Okay, I lied. I haven't finished the book yet, but I'm back. I just checked. I think it's about 80 pages left. Boom. But I just wanted to come in and say, holy crap with the like, is Octavia Butler a seer? A fortune teller? Like, what the hell? Because everything about this President Jarrett, like, substitute President Trump. This whole Christian America thing, and yet they are just the worst. Like, holy crap. And how many of us from 2016 to now have been so disappointed to find out that people close to us, good, Jesus-loving, God-loving, America-loving people could support that. Yeah. I feel like everyone's been like, yeah, I've got a uncle, brother, aunt, cousin who's on that side. And it's hard. I mean, it's easy to like cut people off on social media, maybe not talk to people who were your friends prior to this whole shit going down. But there are people that like you just can't cut out, and when you see them, it's awkward. So, yeah, the book brought all that feeling up. It sucks. So, yeah, I feel like I don't have much left to go in the book, and I don't see how this is gonna end in a satisfying way. Like, it is just the 2 books, right? I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, hi. So it's Monday now. I finished this on Saturday. I think it's a 4-star. Like, I am using the Copile rating system, so when I break it down into like a rating for how the characters, a rating for the atmosphere, the logic, the intrigue, writing, and enjoyment, right? That was out of order. Parakeets. Am I right? Let me go see if he wants to fly around, if that'll keep him quiet. All right, well, his cage is open. He did a little lap. He is fully flighted. Like, he had his wings partially clipped when we got him, just so, oh shit. He flew to the dogs. He's back. Okay. Just so he could learn the house. And at the time we had ferrets, so we didn't want him to have his wings fully clipped. Not that, the ferrets were locked up if he was out, or, vice versa. But now, his feathers grew back. We've had him for at least 5 years now. He's a freaking bird. You'd think he would want to fly more than he does. Like, we have to force him out of his cage. He just is really antisocial. So he's gonna be screaming while I try to talk to you. Anyway, okay, so when I plug this into the Caw Pile scale, it comes out as like a 4-star read. Honestly, the lowest rating for category was probably the enjoyment, and that was still probably, I don't remember, maybe a 7, as opposed to 9s for atmosphere, 8 for logic, that kind of stuff. I just wasn't enjoying it as much as I enjoyed Parable of the Sower, but still really good book. I had a really weird dream last night, and I'm gonna blame it on this series. I woke up very freaked out. It was a very survival, have to leave this place where I'm living because people are gonna get us kind of dream. I did not like it, but I guess that's just how powerful the books are. Oh shit, the bird flew into the basement. So this book is what happens after, obviously, but years after. And just like the first book, there's a split right at 50% where the whole tone changes. It becomes a different sort of story. And then the ending was the last 60 pages, super rushed. It jumps way into the future, and it kind of just tells you how everything happened. And I kind of feel cheated because I feel like with so much investment into what happened, we should have gotten to see more. Not to tell Octavia how to do her thing, right? Because clearly she's a master. But maybe this should have been a 3-book series, and we could have gotten a longer development of endgame. I don't know. I was picking up a lot of dread throughout the book, and a lot of, I live on a busy road, so I'm sure you could hear traffic noise on top of the bird noise. I need to run away to a cabin in the woods. Yeah, you get a lot of foreshadowing. The daughter character kind of telling you something is going to happen, and then you're reading journals from the past. And I was picking up on a lot of disdain from the daughter towards Lauren. I've definitely mentioned that makes you think, oh, Lauren's going to be a terrible mother. And that's not exactly how it plays out. I think the daughter just puts a lot of blame on Lauren for how things turned out, and carries a lot of jealousy for Earthseed, like Lauren's life's work. She feels like that was her first child. That's the child she loved more. And because of that, her obsession with building Earthseed, like that's why all the bad shit happened. And so she puts a lot of blame on her mother. But you can't quite say Lauren wasn't a good mother. She wasn't a good mother, but she wasn't a bad mother. Like, she honestly doesn't get much chance to be either. And a lot of that has to do with her obsession with Earthseed. Now, this book is insanely prophetic, and I wonder if people who have read this before, if returning to it after the Trump administration, after the insurrection at the Capitol building, I feel like it would hit closer to home. I wonder, like, if it kind of lands differently living in that reality, having this fiction so closely aligned to like the nightmare we've lived. The idea of a president stirring shit up and creating a monster out of a group of people that he can't even control, and like he's just like instigating, but then kind of backtracks because they end up going too far. Yeah, sound familiar? That happened. So yeah, there's a lot in here that, I mean, it's not exactly what happened. It is different, but it aligns with attitudes and actions and beliefs. As I've said a million times, all the religious elements of this book made me uncomfortable. It made it hard to like Lauren and like Earthseed. Like, obviously, you know, they're not the good guys, but like the better option. And I think it's my own personal bias. Like, I kind of think if her Earthseed values were presented as like a political movement, like a grassroots movement, based on like social philosophy, I'm pulling words out of the air, but I feel like if it was that and not trying to manipulate people into believing, I could have enjoyed the book more as a whole, but that is probably also kind of the point, is that she is also pretty extreme. There's a lot of throwing around the word cult. Even the Christian groups, like, they become extremists. And it just had me feeling a lot of like, well, like, what is a cult anyway? What is the distinction between cult and religion? I really don't know how to talk about this book without spoiling this or the first book, so this whole vlog has been rather difficult. I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over and yet not saying much at all. So I'm gonna be done. Bye.